we are headed to Cheyenne Canyon. We're gonna go for a bike ride. You can see the bike in the back there. If you haven't seen my previous videos about the bike, I would go back and check those out. It'll make a little more sense later when I'm discussing this bike. This bike has never been rode. This will be the first ride for it. So we're gonna go hit up Cheyenne Canyon, Captain Jack's Trail. I know we always go there, but it poses a lot of challenges, that trail does, that kind of really tests the limits of the bike in various ways. So I like to use that trail. We have some uphill, some pretty good downhill, just different scenarios that I can test the bike with. So that's why I like to go there. Hopefully today isn't extremely busy. It's still semi-early 10 a.m. but it's probably already busy. It's 85 degrees out right now. And this area in general, it's not just a trail there, Captain Jack's. It's a whole big expansive area. So that area in general is very popular as it is. It has been shut down for a couple weeks, if not 2 months or so by now, due to some damage that occurred from some flooding. It damaged the road going in. So they recently just got that fixed and reopened, I believe last weekend, maybe the weekend before, but I think it was last weekend. So everybody is probably flocking there more so than usual. So we'll see if we can even find a place to park. Generally, it's hard to even find a place to park anyway. You end up having to go down, it's called Gold Camp Road. And let me turn you guys around and show you here. If you can see that mountain with the towers coming off of it, that is actually Cheyenne Mountain. Those towers, radio towers and stuff up there. So that is where NORAD is located. If you guys don't know what NORAD is, go check out Google on that. So that's where we're going, is down into that area. It's the canyon of that mountain. So we're gonna go hit that up. I will get with you guys once I'm unloaded and up the trail a little bit, depending on where I end up having to park. So we'll see you in a bit. All right, here we are entering into Cheyenne Canyon. I believe this is South Cheyenne Canyon. Actually, we'll see here in just a second. This is North Cheyenne Canyon. My apologies. Let's see how busy it is coming through here. This is a little bit of a drive to get up into the areas I'd like to go ride in. There are a bunch of hiking trails through here, and you can bike on them, but these are a lot more popular for hiking down here. So it kind of makes it difficult to go ride on them because of all the people that are hiking on them. So the Captain Jack's Trail that I'm gonna go hit does not have people hiking on it very often, because it is a fairly steep trail as it is, and that one is more popular for biking and stuff anyway. So I feel like people tend to stay away from it for those reasons. But so far I don't see very many people coming in and out, but we do still have a little ways to go. It is quite windy, but this drive is beautiful coming up through here. Let me adjust your view a little bit. There's definitely some open parking down here, so that's promising. There's times where every single open spot will be taken, including areas that you're not even supposed to park in. So sides of the road and people are crossing over. Kind of dangerous for the hikers, because driving up this road, it's hard to see these little trails that just pop out of the side. It's not a very fast speed limit through here, and I'm actually going under the speed limit right now. Things like this coming up where guys biking up the road, which is perfectly fine and legal, but you have this car that's afraid to pass them. And I'm about to pass them all if they don't do something here. I'll get back to you guys in a bit, but I just wanted to kind of show you the scenery on the way up. But once I get up to the top and get parked and unloaded, we will get back to this. Alright, we made it up to a parking spot off the side of Gold Camp Road as I expected. The parking lot up at the top here was completely full, and there were a couple tents for what appears to be some sort of event, so that would explain some stuff as well. But let me give you guys a quick view. I'm gonna walk over here actually and give you a look over the edge. Right over there, there's some water that flows down, and then at the bottom there's a waterfall that I have shown you guys before. But anyway, we are parked here. This is the bike. I unfortunately forgot my chest harness for the GoPro, and all I have is my little clip with nowhere to clip it. So I will get up a little ways here and we will talk about this bike. Alright, we made it up to my normal stopping spot where I typically stop and talk to you guys. Not for any particular reason other than it's a great spot off the trail just a little bit, so I'm not in the way. It's a fair good distance in. Let's see what we got here on the odometer. 2.5 miles in, so it's a good stopping point to rest and talk to you guys. So let's go ahead and talk about this bike. If you've seen my previous videos, I had the Aipas, I believe is how it said, M2. There is an M1, which is a step-through bike. So this bar here is down a little lower, or maybe it's not there at all, I don't know for sure, but it's considered a step-through bike, which on this M2, M1 style bike, this is a pretty large frame bike with large tires. So I'd say if you're not over like 6 feet or so, I would definitely recommend probably looking at the M1 if you're going to look at this brand. So I had the M2, and as you guys will see or have seen in previous videos, I was having issues with the motor. Some grinding sounds coming from it after it would start heating up on a ride. So I ended up reaching out to the company, and they got back to me and asked me what was going on. Walked them through everything, and they said, all right, cool, we'll send you a new motor. A few days later, they get back to me and they said, hey, sorry, like the motor is on back order, we're not sure when we're even going to get it back in. Do you have the original box that you shipped the bike in? Long story short, they said, go ahead, ship the bike back to us. We have a new model coming out, which of course is this one here. It is an M2 Pro, and it's got some updates on it. So they said, ship that bike to us, we'll ship you a new one. This was not done in any matter for me to talk about him, say good things about him, anything like that. Nothing was ever discussed. So they shipped this bike. It did take a while. I think this bike was brand new at the time. They were taking just pre-orders. I just got it in yesterday. This all happened a month or so ago, but so far I've only got 2.5 miles, but it's been worth the wait. This bike has a lot of upgrades. We'll walk through some of those. I'm not some e-bike expert. I'm not really a bike expert even, but I'll tell you what I know, what I've experienced so far, and what I like. So, number one, the difference between this one and the old one. This does have a rear shock. That other one only had front shocks. This bike is green, which doesn't matter in terms of any of that, but I don't recall what the last bike color was. It was like a bluish something, I believe. But anyway, this one's green. I like it. This one does have increased motor capacity, but sorry, somebody pulled up and started talking. But anyway, I was talking about the motor on this. Supposedly it is a more powerful motor. They advertise 1800 watts. I don't believe that. I don't believe the number they advertised on the last one. I know those are peak numbers, but regardless, it does feel more powerful, but I don't believe it's an 1800 watt motor. Some other upgrades on it. I discussed the rear shock already. The motor, it does have a new display. I don't know if you'll be able to even see it. Kind of. But the display is different. Seems a little more informative, more options on it. It does have a bigger, brighter headlight. I haven't gotten to use it in a dark space yet, but once we get to the bottom of this trail, there are some tunnels that we end up going through, so I will turn that on. I am sure that it probably projects a wider or further or both light. The brakes on it are still disc brakes, but they are manual, meaning they have a cable that runs to them. I wish it had hydraulic brakes or had an option to upgrade to hydraulic brakes when you ordered it. These manual brakes just aren't as good, and especially riding up here on in the mountains, you want some better brakes. I got a little sidetracked. I don't know if you guys can see it out there, but somebody's like parachuting. But I'm going to pause this real quick and pull my phone out. Maybe not, because they just went behind the trees. I was going to try to catch a picture of them, but anyway, there's definitely a few upgrades on this bike. The battery is supposed to be better. I think a higher capacity and more power. I do believe this display actually shows the output amps that it's putting out, so I'll take a look at that. We can do the calculations based on the battery voltage, the amperage, and figure out what the peak number on that motor is, or based on the mathematics of that. So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and continue this ride. I wish I had a place to put this camera, but you guys have seen this ride before, so I'm gonna go on down to the bottom. Again, I bought this bike, or I bought the last bike, and they ended up doing an exchange on this, but it was based on some issues that the other bike was having. But overall, I would definitely recommend this bike. It was just under $1,000, so with the features and the capabilities I have experienced with this bike so far, I would highly recommend for the price point. Alright guys, we are back to the starting point, or parking spot, or whatever you want to call it. I just wanted to let you guys know my final thoughts for the first ride. We did about we did 6 miles. That was up and down. I would say probably a third of that's going up and then quite a bit coming down. So it is a ways up there. I don't know for sure how steep or how much elevation we gain there, but it is a little ways up. This bike, it handled it really well. I am pretty impressed so far. I didn't get any sort of overheating warnings or anything like that. I just loaded it. I have my hand on the motor. It is pretty warm to the touch, but I am able to keep my hand on it, so that is a plus. These rear shocks, they are a game changer for sure, and that probably goes with any bike, but that they helped out so much, made the ride so much better. But overall, I am pretty happy with the bike. Again, I am only 6 miles in, so we have quite a bit to go here, but I do wish it had hydraulic brakes. I'm going to look into what it would take to put hydraulic brakes on it. My only concern would be routing of those, because a lot of this stuff is routed through the frame itself. I don't know if I'd be able to route a hydraulic line through the frame in place of the cable, but I don't see why not. I'm gonna look into that. If any of you guys have any suggestions on stuff like that or any other type of upgrades to do, I would certainly appreciate those. Put them in the comments below. This does have the mud flares, wheel well, whatever you want to call them, mud flaps. It does have a rear rack. I bought this bag from the Aipas. I didn't buy it for any specific reason other than I was on the original bike. I was supposed to have a promotion that did not get applied, so I contacted them, and this bag was basically the price of what I was out on the promotion. So I just told them go ahead and send me that bag instead of trying to cancel the order and do all that. But it is useful. I love the rack to be able to carry the bag. The fender flares, whatever you want to call them, I just can't think of it off right now, but they're great. Going through mud and water keeps you dry, so those are great. But if you guys have suggestions on other accessories and upgrades to do, let me know down in the comments. Again, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. I greatly appreciate it. Helps the channel out, helps me out. I am not monetized, so it's not getting me paid. I am not getting paid to review this bike from Aipas at all. I just like to share the information out there. I do recommend the bike. So anyway, thanks again, guys. We'll see you next time.